This is the Nightshade Cult, a podcast macabre.
We bid you welcome. Enter freely and of your own will.
I'm Nick Grimm.
And I'm David Graves.
We'll be your horror hosts for this dissection of John McTiernan's 1987 jungle adventure sci-fi action slasher, Predator.
Good evening. This is a movie that I've seen probably more than any other movie we've reviewed. Or
Possibly.
Close.
Yeah, this is up there. This is way up there with like something that I would just put on, you know, and like, well, I'm drawing or reading comics or something, and Predator is just playing.
Yeah, you just look up and like say some of the like one-liners.
Stick around.
Yeah. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those with like a million one-liners.
Yeah, and it's just like the movie. The one thing that every time I watch Predator that I'm always like, oh yeah, it starts like this, is that it has the opening, basically the same opening as The Thing, where you see the spaceship coming up on approaching Earth and then sending off a little shuttlecraft.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, the opening sequence, it reminds me of like an Aliens movie, Aliens, Alien 3, etc.
And this is well before anyone had considered that they take place in a shared universe.
Yes.
That idea happens in Predator 2 is when that theory is introduced to it. But yeah, this is just a standalone movie. It was a script that had been knocking around for a while,
called like The Hunter.
Yeah, and it started out with where it's like a whole team of alien hunters and just
hunting one guy
who would be the character that sort of becomes Billy. And you know, that just over time it morphs into what we know as Predator.
Yeah, and on one alien hunter going after an ensemble cast,
a squad of guys, a dirty dozen sort of group of guys. Yeah,
Schwarzenegger said he wanted to have like a Magnificent Seven type of movie, and this is it. This movie was made for, they said 15 to 18 million, but it notoriously went way over budget. So, it probably was double that easily. Yeah,
it was a bit of a famous boondoggle production. I mean, not really. You listen to interviews with McTiernan, and everything sort of went to his plans. Yeah, because he liked having the sort of break and then going back for reshoots. Yeah,
he wanted to do kind of a supercut of the movie before going back and filming the final act and doing any reshoots for things for the first two acts. And so that's what he got, because he was able to get that extra money by showing the studio that first hour of footage.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, for big franchise movies, that's basically standard now. That's how everyone does it, is you have principal production, and then you have reshoots baked in sort of after you've done some editing and see what you've got, see what you need and what needs to get reworked. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to argue with how this product turns out, because it's a classic film. I don't think that's hyperbole to say that.
It went almost to $100 million in the box office. And then of course they made so much money on, licensing it to cable networks later on, and home video and all that stuff, which nowadays would just be streaming revenue. But it was the home video. This movie made it made a stack of money, but also it got nominated for an Oscar for best visual effects.
Yeah, for Stan Winston, and also for the guys that did the not digital, but like the optical effects to create the Predator camouflage were also nominated.
Yeah, which is interesting. One of the things that was kind of an anomaly was they didn't want to include the Predator costume in the best makeup and costuming category, because it was they considered it a visual effect, but he just won one for Harry and the Hendersons, which was basically the same.
Well, no, so it's the same year.
It's the same year.
It's
gotcha.
The 1988 Oscars. Stan Winston is nominated for visual effects for the Predator suit, and Rick Baker is nominated for makeup for the Harry suit, and Rick Baker wins.
And it had
the same technology and the same actor.
The same actor, yeah. and it's the same. It was the idea of a suit with a mechanical head on top of it, and same exact tech. And I think that Stan got robbed.
Ooh, Harry's a good one, though. I mean, they should have been in the same category. Is ultimately,
I definitely think Predator's better than Harry, but whatever. And the thing is the Predator lost in Best Visual Effects. That it lost to a movie that nobody even cares about now, Inner Space.
That's a pretty good movie. Inner Space.
It actually did look pretty dope with those tiny little robots and stuff.
Inner Space is a pretty.
I saw that.
Yeah, I can see how that won, and that's pre-digital doing all of that stuff is. Yeah, I can see why that won. It's just the wrong category. The Predator belonged in the same category as Harry.
Yeah, I guess he had previously lost in the Best Visual Effects category to Aliens in a previous years. So
it's a guy in a suit too. I mean, ultimately, but when I guess the thing that makes it different though is when you're in the visual effects category, it's the whole VFX team, right? It's not just the suit. When you're in the makeup thing, they're just looking at the suit.
Just one guy,
and it's not a makeup. It's not it's a full on animatronic head on a suit.
Yeah, I like that. You don't get to see him very much until like the end. Like the actors who played the soldiers, they basically never interacted with the Predator. There was just a guy in a red suit that was running around, and then they just did, replaced that with
rotoscope him out and then put in that Predator effect. And that guy originally was Jean-Claude Van Damme in one of his very first roles. But that suit just didn't work. The suit was not up to snuff for 1987 standards.
Yeah, the original Predator suit was it looked like an insectile thing, and it wasn't tall. Like even in the suit, Van Damme wasn't taller than Schwarzenegger. Yeah, and so that it wasn't going to work.
Right, and Kevin Peter Hall is like 7 feet tall. So with the whole thing, the whole get up on, he towers over Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess he's credited as 7'2". Yeah, and he definitely towers over him because he's wearing those kind of platform boots, and he's kind of a big guy anyways. Yeah, not just tall but big.
When you watch interviews with him, he's like kind of almost part way reclined.
Yeah.
Just so he fits all in the frame.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a big feller. Well, we're already getting into this, so why don't we roll the music and get into this dissection? A group of military contractors on a mission behind enemy lines find themselves being picked off one by an alien big game hunter.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I love when I can get the synopsis down to one sentence. That's like my goal every time.
Were they actually were they contractors, or were they just a special forces unit? Like, were they government or were they independent?
They have the ability to pass on contracts, so that tells me they're contractors.
Yeah, okay.
Because that comes up right away that Dylan's like, well, why'd you pass on Libya? And, he's like, we're a rescue team, not assassins.
Yeah.
And so, they're independent contractors.
Yeah, it's all in that nebulous 80s action movie. Mm-hmm. You can have the highest levels of government clearance and just be a mercenary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Our attitude towards mercenaries has changed a lot in the intervening years.
It used to be that being a mercenary was pretty cool.
It was Soldier of Fortune magazine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just seen as this cool thing. Like, mercenary teams are just squads of really cool guys and not at all psychopaths unfit for the world.
Yeah. Not just murderers who get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Not to disparage our friends in the Soldier of Fortune community.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if we have.
Yeah, I hate you because I ain't you.
Yeah. Getting paid so well to go out there and to destabilize Latin American
to
countries.
destroy villages and whatnot. Yeah,
or in this case, as a rescue team.
Yeah, as a rescue team. So they're going to rescue some CIA agents, right? They're tricked by Dutch?
Dylan.
By Dylan, yeah.
They believe that they're going to get like a senator or congressperson whose helicopter was shot down. But it ends up, it was a group of CIA operatives, and then there was also a team of Green Berets that got sent in to extract them, and everyone got done up in one way or another.
Yeah.
Either by the guerrillas or by Predator.
Yeah, I think it was the CIA people got done by the guerrillas and the Green Berets by the Predator.
Yeah, because we're assuming the guerrillas don't skin people.
And hang them upside down,
Yeah. We've already said this is directed by John McTiernan. This is pre-Die Hard John McTiernan. He only has one movie before this, so this is like his career is on the upward angle at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this dude makes a good action flick.
Yes, he's very good at it. I think that is well established.
He's like the Chad Stahelski of his era.
That's not entirely unfair, and I think...
no, I'm a fan of both.
Yeah, I think he, in a similar way to Chad Stahelski, if you think about this movie going into Die Hard after it, he does sort of redefine action movies.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like what action movies look like in the 90s is different than what they looked like in the 80s, and McTiernan sort of takes it there.
Yeah, I really like, and we're talking about storytelling themes at this point, and I definitely like that he uses horror tropes in his in his action movies. Like, this movie is a slasher movie, and Die Hard is a monster in the house a horror trope.
Yeah.
He basically
also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I love that he takes these horror elements and adds into an action movie. And in this one, this is a sci-fi action. It's awesome.
It's so many, like, there's so many. I try, what did I call it? A jungle adventure, sci-fi action slasher. It's also a Vietnam War movie.
Yeah, like, it starts off and it's like, oh, this is a war movie. This is a movie like guys flying out in a helicopter. They're going to rappel down. They're going to fight some bad guys. This is like Chuck Norris has made movies like this. You know?
They shoot them in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And Cannon was cranking them out. And it's that iconography when you see those helicopters flying over the jungle, you think Vietnam. And then all of the characters are Vietnam veterans and several of the actors.
Yeah. Like, that's why it was great that they had Jesse Ventura on board, because they went to this, they called it rehearsals, but it was basically 8 weeks of learning how to move through the jungle.
Yeah.
Like soldiers, they driven out 20 miles and with their coach, the Vietnam vet guy who's teaching them how to move. And Ventura is basically like a second coach.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a Navy SEAL, dog.
You're not going to teach me how to move through the jungle.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and the guy that played Poncho, Richard Chavez, also Vietnam veteran.
Yeah, Poncho, that guy, I really liked that guy in this movie. Actually, this movie kind of reminds me of like, what is it? Is it Aliens, where they have the troops go down, the Colonial Marines?
And this...
I love this trope.
So, and since you bring that up, Aliens and Predator, they help each other out in as far as getting Predator made.
Yeah.
Because the success of Aliens, 20th Century Fox, there's years until Alien 3 comes along, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they are very eager to get another Aliens type movie out. And so when this script comes along with a solid director and a bankable star and Schwarzenegger, they're like, yeah, green light, go on that.
Yeah, they actually wanted to go really fast, but Schwarzenegger's previous commitments caused several delays, which the director was like, no, that's good. I need more time to get this ready.
Yeah. I know, and it's funny, behind the scenes, we ended up because of my snafu, we ended up recording these episodes, our 2 Schwarzenegger 87 episodes, in the wrong order. But that is how the movies were made, where The Running Man was made before Predator, but Predator came out before The Running Man.
Yeah.
And that's how we're releasing our episodes. So that was intentional. I
this is in universe. We actually are in the Predator world.
I did this so it would play out the same way.
Actually, I can't think of a time since we changed the name of the podcast that we had done an out of order thing.
Yeah.
It's been like literally years.
I think very early on we had a little bit of that, and that's why we stopped
saying the number of the episode
number. Yeah, because we had to.
But this is 53.
Yeah, this one is definitely.
I'll go on record.
So, director John McTiernan, the script was by Jim and John Thomas, a pair of brothers. And I put a little asterisk by that because Shane Black, that plays Hawkins, did a little bit of punch up on it. They wanted him to do like a whole other draft.
Yeah, he's like a screenwriter, and they kind of tricked him to come out to be on we'll put you in the movie, but they wanted to have a known quantity writer on hand.
Yeah. And that's normal. Productions always have to have a writer on hand.
But they wanted him, and he wouldn't do it unless he was in it.
Yeah. And so, but they he's the first one to die.
Sure.
So he just becomes the staff writer at that point.
Yeah.
Which
smart.
It's a little bit of a dirty deal, but it does, it fits the theme of the movie really well, because that's the same thing that happens with the whole squad is Dylan brings them in under false pretenses, so it mirrors that.
Absolutely.
And, he downplays his role as far as writing on this movie, but I think he did probably punch up the dialogue quite a bit.
Yeah. And I think it's also worth mentioning that this is definitely a Schwarzenegger flick. He had input. He was the one that said he wanted it to be a whole squad of soldiers.
Yeah, instead of just one guy.
Instead of just him, he wanted to have a whole band of brothers, a Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
He wanted that. And so they're like, okay, cool. That's when you know you're a star.
Yeah. And Schwarzenegger, and this is backed up by all the interviews that I watched. He is such a champion of his co-stars, and he's never tried, I have to look better than this person or whatever. He's famous for playing his pranks and mind games and stuff behind the scenes. But as far as just celebrating his coworkers and helping everyone to look their best and the whole team to succeed together, he seems to be just a great top build person.
Yeah, and I think that's played out through the decades as he's gone into politics, become kind of a public figure. If you ever watch YouTube videos of him talking about things, he just kind of has a core of decency about him. Yeah. Even if you don't agree with all of his stuff,
I don't. He's
agree
with a lot of his
he's a decent dude, right? Yeah. You wouldn't think he'd get into skullduggery and shit talking.
No, and Schwarzenegger has never, as much as I've disagreed with some of his political views over the years, he's never crossed over the line where I have to hate this guy now. He's never gone there, and I really appreciate that because so many people have.
Yeah, we've lost so many good ones.
Yeah, you mentioned already the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
and I said the Dirty Dozen. They even they do the Dirty Dozen credit treatment at the end. Where you see all of the people that have died. They all get kind of a spotlight moment.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Some of the other themes going on, you get, like I said, the legacy of Vietnam. This is also playing with sort of the tropes of the Iran-Contra scandal that's going on, because this is the CIA going into these Latin American countries and messing with the politics, overthrowing governments, things like that. It's very grounded in what is happening in politics at that time.
Yeah, I also like how this movie has a lot of subversive elements in that. This is a uber macho,
God.
these dudes with like glistening muscles and stuff. But ultimately, in the end, it is Dutch's intelligence and craftiness that wins the day because strength fails. Some problems cannot be solved with brute force and firepower. It has to be done with finesse. This is subversive of the entire trope that it's wearing like a badge. And so that makes it a lot smarter than I think a lot of people would give this movie credit for. They would probably think this is just a meathead, kind of an idiot movie, but there's a lot of things that are done with intention, and it's very much thoughtful deconstruction of like action hero tropes.
It is, and it's because obviously it's playing with like visually, it's evoking Rambo a lot of the time, right? Which is very relevant to the period. That's a huge franchise. But it is more like the first Rambo in that it's kind of looking at relationships and trauma and things like that, like how the relationship with Bill Duke's character and Jesse Ventura's character after Jesse Ventura gets murked out, and Bill Duke is upset, like he's having big feelings.
Mac has like full on PTSD, and he's having a break.
Well, because they were the two, like we get this backstory where the two of them were the only survivors from their unit in Vietnam. And he's just unmoored without his partner.
Because like Blaine is like a he's like a sexual tyrannosaurus. He's super verbose. He's super outgoing, and Mac is like, he's silent. He's dour. He's actually the more dangerous of the two.
The whole thing where he goes up to Billy D. Williams' character Dylan, and he's like, "You're ghosting us, man." He's like, "You give away a position one more time, I'm gonna bleed you right here, leave you." And like Lisa goes, "That's chilling. That's like that's such a scary thing to say to someone."
There's something about that dude's eyes.
Oh yeah,
he's got some like non-verbal acting.
Bill Duke had haunted eyes. Like,
absolutely. And I guess this movie was harrowing to make. From all of they said like, we weren't making a movie, we were surviving a movie.
Because they're out there in Mexico filming in the jungle. There's no level surfaces anywhere. Everything's an incline. Like Billy D. Williams would say, like, no matter what, even when you're resting, there's constant tension because you're standing on an uneven surface. You're having to be tense just to stand there. Everyone got diarrhea because famously you're not supposed to drink the water in Mexico, and they thought that their hotel had filtered water, but the filter had broken.
Except for the director, he did not get diarrhea because he was ultra paranoid about it. And so he lost 25 pounds, ate very little, drank bottled water.
And that's, I think everyone, I've always been told that only drink bottled water in Mexico, even in the hotel. And this just seems like it just confirms it.
When I went to Mexico, it was short. But I didn't drink any water there. I drank a Coke from the bottle and, a bottle of water. I thought that was safe. Good go.
What do you, what about margaritas? No ice, right? You have to go no ice.
I don't know. I don't drink margaritas. I drink cerveza.
I think you stick with the cerveza, una refresca, the Coca-Cola. Yeah,
absolutely.
What else? Talked Brotherhood, Soldiers of Fortune, Most Dangerous Game. We mentioned.
I love that Ray Bradbury story. It's so classic.
Man is the most dangerous game. So obviously the big dog, big game hunter of the galaxy comes to Earth to hunt men.
And in the interview with the two brothers who wrote this, they're like, so like if we're gonna have a galactic hunter and they're gonna hunt the most dangerous game, which is a human, what's the most dangerous human? A combat veteran. So we need to have the most hardened combat veteran of all time. And so like that is the genesis of the seed. Like, what's the most dangerous thing here, and what will hunt it? It's more dangerous. So that's that's kind of it's a good genesis of an idea.
Yeah. So what's your impression of these guys? Are they all... They're not all from the same unit. Like, they're not all the same branch of the military originally, are they? They've come together over time.
Yeah, I mean, if I was speculating, I mean, it definitely seems like that there are different branches, but it would seem like it's probably mostly all special operations soldiers, or nearly so, like someone who is from like a Ranger battalion, and then like probably a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret, a Marine Recon.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're mostly all U.S. military veterans of some stripe, and they're all special operations from the various services. Like, I could even see the joke-telling guy could have been a PJ from the Air Force.
Oh, so okay, because he's their communications.
Yeah, he's the comms guy, and that would make sense.
Yeah. Dylan does that Ranger role with his hat, right? Where he's got his hat kind of tucked in with the front of the hat sticking up, that I associate with that. With Army Rangers.
That's very Ranger. Like, if you see people in the Army doing that with their patrol cap, they're probably a Ranger or a poser.
Yeah. Which Dylan can kind of be both, except for Dylan and Dutch were in the same unit whenever they served. And most of this stuff we talk often about show don't tell, right?
Yeah.
There is a fair bit of exposition in this movie, but for the most part, most things are implied and unspoken.
Yeah, and they have a lot of really cool like they have technology of the Vietnam era largely, like what Billy is wearing a Vietnam era flak vest, which people weren't wearing in the 80s. They had moved beyond flak vests. But yeah, the other guys didn't wear that stuff, but he wore his armor. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like the 13th Warrior. Has the guy with the armor.
Another John McTiernan movie?
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't realize he made that. That movie is also a masterpiece.
Yeah. There's a lot of Predator in the 13th Warrior, honestly.
Yeah, that movie is awesome.
Yeah, I know you and I think that, and a lot of people we know, I think, regard that as a classic film, and it's doesn't have the best reputation, but
I've never talked to someone and been like, yeah, 13th Warrior, blah, blah, blah. They're never like, that sucks. It's either like, oh, yeah, that's amazing, or isn't that like an Antonio Banderas movie?
It is.
It is, actually, yeah. But like, I don't remember anyone saying anything bad. But then again, I hang out with a lot of guys whose hobby is sword fighting.
Yeah.
So,
and that was I do think that is sort of the people in that sort of historical combat enthusiasts, or
even like D&D players.
Yeah, because it is borderline a fantasy.
Absolutely,
movie.
Yeah.
It's a reworking of Beowulf.
Yeah.
That's
we're not. We should talk about that at some future episode.
That's some future where we go into the 13th Warrior. Do you want to move on to the visuals?
Yeah, for sure. This movie, obviously, it was Oscar nominated for its visuals, for its its visual effects, but really should have. It was the creature design.
Yes. Although the visual effects are innovative.
I like the rotoscope effect, but I love how they used the
heat vision.
The heat vision, the thermographic vision, and they superimposed two simultaneously shot things on one another, which is why you don't see little critters running around when you see the heat blur of the soldiers. You just see them.
Right.
Yeah,
it simplifies the image and makes it easier to read as a civilian looking at that. The visual effects, the Academy Award nominated visual effects are by Joel Hinnick and Robert and Richard Greenberg.
Nice.
And so you mentioned this earlier, the Predator, the original Predator, is a guy in a red costume.
Yes.
Sometimes Jean-Claude Van Damme, probably sometimes a stuntman. And he was running around and
climbing trees.
Yeah. And several of those shots are in the finished film, like stuff that when you watch the back matter, stuff that you see with the original design Predator in it, like when Hawkins is body is dragged through the woods.
Yeah.
That's the original design Predator. The scene with Dylan where he gets his arm blasted off and the Predator kind of runs in like a half circle around the clearing.
Yeah.
That's probably Van Damme. He's not credited, but I think some of this stuff is him.
Yeah, they probably just paid him like a stuntman or something and called it a day.
He was famously miserable on this movie.
Because he couldn't see out of the costume and it was hard to move in. It was too bulky.
Yeah, the whole idea is you hire him, a martial artist and a gymnast, and he's going to get to do things. And then you put him in a big foam rubber costume and he doesn't feel like he can do anything.
Yeah, he's not doing any flips off of anything. He's not doing the splits, famously.
Carl Weathers said... because I think they really did do that scene together. Because I've seen a lot of behind the scenes photos of the two of them. Mm-hmm. He said you'd look at Jean-Claude and he's just sitting there like depressed and staring at his hands like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing here? Like he was just very miserable on this show.
Yeah, this I will say the thermographic vision stuff that they do is nothing like military thermographic scopes and whatnot. I've used them when I was deployed, and it's totally different than that. But this is way better.
This is better, yeah.
You can't see very well. Like you could see things, and it's not that bright. Like the heat differences aren't that bright. Like I had a situation where people were calling over the radio saying that there was somebody who was like creeping up on our perimeter or whatever. Yeah. And we went over there with the thermographics, and it was a coyote.
Yeah.
So, but you can
tell or a jackal.
Coyote. They have coyotes.
They have coyotes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
I had a dream about coyotes the other night.
It could have been like a coy dog or something, but it was a canine for the smallish variety.
Okay. Well, you guys need to upgrade, get that Predator goggles.
Oh, yeah. Dang. We need some Academy Award winners to get us, or nominees, I should say.
So we kind of talked about this just a little bit ago. The costume design is by Marilyn Vance. Mm-hmm. And I think the costume design does a fair bit of storytelling. Like everyone has a distinct costume. And I think they had fairly broad options as far as building their own characters this way. Like here's a bunch of military surplus gear and like what does Hawkins, what does Dylan or Blaine, what do you wear? And what is your character? What's your backstory?
Yeah, I like that Blaine went with the boonie cap. I'm a big fan of the boonie.
Yeah. It's folded up on one side?
Yeah, folded up on one side.
Billy rolls his up on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I leave it down because you got to keep that sun off of your neck.
Oh, I just remember what I was going to ask because you're talking about the heat vision. In the jungle, isn't everything hot?
Yeah, I think that's why they had to do the two cameras. And they were talking about how there was a guy that was hired just to do the math and the measuring to make sure they were perfectly aligned. Right. And so the footage would exactly sync.
Yeah, so you can cut back and forth between the two shots. Yeah, I would imagine you're in the jungle in... what do they call it? Valverde, the same fictional country that shows up again in multiple John McTiernan movies like Die Hard and stuff. You're in the jungle. It's over 100 degrees. Ugh. Everything is punishingly hot. It just seems like you're just looking at all shades of red, orange, and yellow.
Yeah, I hate the heat, but I hate the wet heat.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Miserable.
That's the only good thing about being hot in the Middle East is it's dry as hell.
Yeah, so you're just sweating it off.
And you don't even notice. You're still dry. Yeah. If you sweat, you're dry.
No jungle rot.
Yeah, not at all.
In the Middle East. Production design by John Vallone. It's good. They had to thin out parts of the jungle because the jungle is so dense.
Cutting leaves out so you can get like a long vision.
Yeah. But then building trees also, like fake trees that are strong enough to hold the predator's weight, trees that are like down trees that they can hide behind. That whole guerrilla encampment that's obviously all designed and everything tells a story. Like they have that truck that's running their generator.
Oh, yeah.
Or like you have the sentry that's up in the tree and the ladder to get up to his crow's nest is just like boards that are nailed to the side of the tree,
Yeah.
you know, like a little kid's tree house, but going way up into the tree. Everything you look at in this movie feels considered and feels like it's telling the story.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes that the jungle itself is one of the characters of the film.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this movie, like, they've done movies like they've done more Predator movies in other places, but none of them feel like this movie.
Yeah, and you know, now it's just so much easier to do this in a big green room with some props and then animate a jungle into it, because the jungle is hard.
I like the ones that I like the wild spaces. That's why I like Prey so much.
Yeah,
It's in the wild.
I think movies are poorer for that, even though it's easier and everyone has a better time and you can film them in some...
There's AC.
Yeah, all of that. You can't fake the jungle, and you can't fake these guys are really out there sweating. You know what I mean? Like, they're really out there in it. And even just the fact that all of them have diarrhea and they're like clinching until the next like break so they can all go run to the latrines and dump out. That tension, that real tension, is affecting their performances and adding some
Maybe
level.
we should give some bad water to actors intentionally just to get better performances.
That's very old school toxic filmmaking. That's something I can see fucking Kubrick doing that to someone,
absolutely.
poisoning the actors so to inform the performance. Yeah.
They're like, I need a performance of a dying man. I have an idea.
Yeah, I think you need to contact your union rep if a director ever has poisoned.
Oh no, this is a non-union.
This is a non-union. We're all scab crew. Foreign scab crew. Anything else? Cinematography by Donald McAlpine. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, this movie is really well cut. I love the POV shots from the Predator's perspective, all the thermal vision stuff. I also love how, like, when he's hunting them, there are camera shots where they have a cameraman way up in a tree.
Yeah.
And you just see the soldiers going through the woods, and it's just, or the jungle. And I'm just like, oh man, this is so cool.
Even when it's probably not literally the Predator's point of view, like when when Dutch is setting up all his like Home Alone booby traps and everything, obviously the Predator doesn't know where he is at that point, right? It's stalking him, and he's got a moment where he is camouflaged.
All you need is mud.
Yeah. How long that would work, I think, is pretty dubious.
Yeah.
Immediately fresh out of the water, yes.
Yeah, because you look different.
Yeah, I
cool
buy
skin.
that. But at some point, the mud will dry, and you're going to heat it up, and then your body heat.
Yeah, you got to get back in the water and get back.
Yeah,
you know,
back in the water and back in the mud. But my point was, the camera is watching Dutch from this very voyeuristic, like back in the bushes angle that could very well be a predator watching him. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very... there's something about the camera that's feels like it's violating people's spaces. Like, it's always stalking them, and like the camera interacts with the foliage and stuff like that. Like, it pushes leaves as it follows people through the woods.
Yeah, it's very like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's very much like a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way it dips through all of these different genres is really masterful.
Yeah, the last thing I would say about visuals is we talked about the props of the soldiers and stuff, and we talked about the kind of the costume design, but I wanted to specifically call out some of the Predator's gear. His wrist blades, the plasma caster on the shoulder.
What do they call it? It's got like... it has some common name that they used, like the goose gun or something.
So, yeah, something like that. Because it's like, I love the mask, the mask that he wears before he pulls it off, and you see the mandibled head. Like, the gear on the Predator, which, you know, it's probably just the same people that designed the costume itself, made all his gear.
Stan Winston and his team.
But, like, that stuff is awesome. It's cool. It's not just the monster, it's a techno monster.
The Predator is, to me, like, especially for the 1980s, one of the most iconic monster designs. Not just of the 1980s, like, of the late 20th century. Like,
Absolutely.
I'll go that far with it.
Like, yeah, I gotta say, you know, like Nosferatu, Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein.
That's the early 20th century.
And then after those most iconic ones, we have to talk about, like, Predator, Alien,
Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger.
It's definitely in the pantheon of, like, I don't know, second generation, third generation, whatever. It's just an amazing monster design.
And I don't know, because there's been many iterations of the Predator through other films and video games and toys and all that. I don't know that they've ever improved or done something better than this very first one.
Like, when he pulls the mask off, the mask is super fucking cool, but when he pulls the mask off and you're looking at the face, which is a robotic, you know, like a
puppet.
Yeah, it's a puppet face, but it looks like a real person. It looks alive. Like, it doesn't look like, you know, like a shitty fake prosthetic. It looks like an alien. Like, it looks real.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's this perfect synergy between the design from Stan Winston and his team, the puppeteers that are working on it, and then Kevin Peter Hall doing his physical performance in it.
Yeah, Kevin Peter Hall's physical performance. We'll talk about that in the performances. But it's the Predator has a distinctive style of movement.
Yeah, and it's fucking scary.
Yeah,
like, it's very scary. It's just human enough. Like, I was kind of like debating, at what point do you stop thinking this is just a very scary guy?
Yeah,
and it really is. When he takes the mask off and you see the face, that you're, it's definitely not a man, because a reasonable person, you know, you don't immediately go to, I'm being hunted by an alien. Like, that's not where your head is going to go. You're like, there's a guy out here killing us. A very terrible guy. Yeah,
like, there's some crazy... And then even after that, if you're like, oh, it's more badass than a guy, you don't think an alien, you think, like, it's an evil spirit.
You know? You would go there first, But when he takes the mask off and you're like, it's some sort of crab guy. I don't know what it is.
Like some sort of jungle leopard. But it's a guy with a mandible and dreadlocks.
And... Stan Winston gives a little bit of credit to James Cameron for the mandibles idea. Stan Winston's idea resembled, like, I think a horseshoe crab was kind of what he was going for. Which you see that a lot in, like, the
top of the head.
The head sort of has a carapace to it, and then like you said, the dreadlocks coming off it's all very evocative. He's got all these little trophies, like all these skulls and stuff that he wears.
Fishnet clothes.
Yeah, it's all, like, fascinating. I remember, like, studying pictures of the Predator in, like, Starlog magazine.
Yeah.
And wondering about all of the stuff on him. Like, what is this? Like, why does he wear this? And, like, what is all this stuff for? You get the impression, like, he doesn't... They have a different atmosphere because he's getting some sort of atmosphere through tubes on his helmet, and none of this is ever explained.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You just wonder about it. You're like, oh, he doesn't breathe like our same outfit. Obviously, he can breathe our atmosphere, but not his atmosphere is not exactly the same as ours. Yeah,
and by the time he pulls his mask off and unhooks the tubes and stuff, he doesn't care because he already knows what's going to happen.
Yeah,
he's mortally wounded.
Is he wounded? No, I don't think so. Not yet.
When
he takes the mask off.
At the very end, when, like, Dutch is looking down at him, and
he took the mask off before. Oh, he takes off the mask so they can have their man-to-man fight.
Their duel. Yes.
Because they have this, like, samurai culture, right? And he's gonna honor him with a man-to-man fight, even though he physically outclasses a human in every way possible.
Absolutely. He could have just zapped him with the gun, but no.
Yeah, that's not sporting. And he's like, yeah, all right. We'll duke it out.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm just a full foot taller.
Yeah, it's like a Rottweiler, and then a Chihuahua is like, fight me. And he's like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk more about those performances, but first we're going to talk about audio.
Yeah.
Music by Alan Silvestri. I think at this point he's probably when this movie comes out, he's most famous for the score for Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Now you know him for the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
It's a great score. It goes over through as many genres as the movie does. It goes monster movie. It's evoking Terminator. It's evoking Star Wars. It's evoking war movies. It goes all over the place, but blends it all together just as expertly as the film itself does.
And lots of percussion.
Yeah.
Just so much percussion.
Yeah, and that's kind of the jungle adventure sound, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like tribal drums sometimes. But then there's like...
kind of reminds you of gunfire sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
Just like cracking and...
Yeah. And then there's a couple moments that they use, like when Bill Duke is remembering Jesse Ventura's character, it kind of plays like funeral music. And then at the end, when they're flying out of the jungle and Dutch just looks wrecked or whatever, they play that kind of somber music again. It blends several different genres just so well. It's one of those scores that when you listen to the score, you know what scene.
Yeah, you're thinking about the movie.
Yeah,
I think that the sound design in this movie, especially all of the Predator vocalizations, the clicks and the snarls and the distinctive sound of his plasma weapon.
Yeah.
And he has, and even his invisibility effect has kind of a shimmery distortion sound.
Right.
Like, it's like a cloaking effect.
Yeah.
All of that sound design, it makes him feel and seem otherworldly.
It does, and it's one of these movies that rewards reviewing because when you go back through and you kind of, once you know the sounds that the Predator makes, both his sort of clicking sounds that he makes, the like you said, the sound of the cloaking technology and his weapons, but then also like the little sounds he records and plays, like Billy's laugh, and stuff like that. And you always can tell what scenes the Predator is in and watching them because the Predator is always making sounds.
Yeah, there's little sounds going on in the background and you don't even notice it on your first watch.
Yeah, so the supervising sound effect editors are Richard L. Anderson and David E. Stone. No one's credited as sound design, but you have to credit someone, and I always go to the supervisor, even though... arguably supervisors do less work than the ground troops.
Yeah, value is created by labor, not management.
Yeah, but anyways, that's who I'm crediting with the sound, but it's very good and very well considered sound design.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that is as iconic as the score. Yeah. Because the sounds of this movie, you just remember it. Like if someone makes like the clicking and kind of snarling sound, you know what it's from.
Yeah. And like the way he fucks with them with the recorded sounds, like, because what does Bill Duke say to Billy D. Williams, where he's like, he gets him to turn around so he can stab the scorpion on his back, and he says like, he's like, over here and anytime, like, and then the Predator, like, when the two of them are stalking the Predator because they got eyes on it, and they're like, we're gonna circle around it. And Bill Duke's character gets picked off right away, and Billy D's out there on his own, and it starts fucking with him with playing
the
audio.
Recorded stuff. Yeah,
and it's like, it's so creepy and effective, and you're just like, you feel like chills, like you're being hunted when you're watching this stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the all that sound design stuff. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
You want to move on to the performances?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I think we probably have to start with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch, top billed.
Yeah, I mean, and he carries a lot of weight in this movie. He's the master of one-liners.
The final girl.
Yeah, he's the only one that makes it through, and it's a good performance. I I like Dutch. He's a great character.
I think for me, this is top 5 Schwarzenegger movies.
Sure.
Like, it's like the 2 Terminator movies, this, Conan, and then number 5, I don't know who's fighting for the number 5 movie.
Yeah.
But this is like one of the
Probably
most...
Raw Deal.
Like, Raw Deal with Heat? No, I don't think... Probably Kindergarten Cop, honestly.
Oh, yeah. It's not a tumor.
Or Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
But, yeah, I think this is just one of his best performances. And
it's definitely right in his Imperial phase.
Oh, for sure. He's just on the up. He's on this upward trajectory that peaks with Terminator 2.
Yeah.
But he's at the can't lose part of this, where everything he does is gold.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's nothing more to say. He just did an amazing job. He's the final girl.
Yeah. And he's like, there's humor, not just the one-liners, but just like the sort of weird slapstick moments also, like when he hits the predator with like the tree branch and it just breaks and you just see the oh fuck look on his face. Mm-hmm. Or when he goes sliding down the hillside and he says oh shit before he goes off the side. Or
when he does the hand grasp meme arm wrestling handshake.
It's on our beer can
with Carl Weathers. He's like kind of arm wrestling.
Yeah, I was. What's the matter? CIA got you pushing too many pencils.
That's it's good. He's humorous.
Yeah, and that brings us in right up to Carl Weathers as Dylan. Second build.
They were like, we need a guy who's big and can act, and that's him.
Yeah, and he is so good for this. They're both so good at portraying. I heard it described on another podcast like they are like exes that are at first excited to see each other, but the longer they spend with each other, they realize why they broke up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like these are guys. They were in the same unit in Nam together, but they've taken very different pathways. And Dylan has gone, he's become a CIA spook and is doing dirty deals or whatever in other countries as the CIA does.
I would way rather be the soldier of fortune than the spy.
Oh, just doing rescue missions, like basically just being an big
action
superhero.
Hero. Yeah, absolutely.
It is certainly something. Being a special operations rescue team seems very cool. Like no one's going to really look down on you like for that.
Yeah, I mean, well, if there's any cultists out there that want that, that's literally the Air Force's special forces is the pararescue, the parajumpers.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Yeah,
okay. And I like the way Dylan interacts with everyone in the movie too. Like clearly. The other guys don't trust him, right?
Yeah, they know that he's gone dirty.
Yeah, Dutch doesn't trust him, but they have history, and he cares about him because he's his homie, but he doesn't trust him. And you watch this sort of tension between, like, he can tell Dylan's holding stuff back and not telling them everything, but he doesn't make quick accusations. And they just have a really good... like friction chemistry with each other.
Yeah, they're frenemies.
Yeah, totally. And Carl Weathers, and then he gets his sort of face turned by the end. He's all in with them.
Because it's like he's can no longer really be adversarial because they're all being hunted.
Yeah, and what do you think about? Because he brings them in there under false pretenses.
Yeah,
but what if he just said, "We lost these CIA operatives in there, and I've sent this team of Green Berets in to extract them, and we haven't heard back from them, and we need you guys to pull them all out."
Yeah.
Do you not think that would have worked also?
Dutch would have probably been like, okay. So, like, Green Berets are the good guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're an American.
Yeah. So I almost imagine, like, and then they would have a better idea of what they're going up against in the idea that this squad of Green Berets has disappeared, you'd be like, oh, so this is serious. Like, we're going in there. These are serious operators, and if we're going in there to get them out.
I mean, arguably, like, Special Forces, which is what Green Berets are, they are like on the level of Navy SEALs. They're like the most elite military group. So I can't imagine that there are mercenaries in real life that are more elite than the America's most elite. Yeah. I mean, like, it's just so this is kind of science fiction in general, but if those guys are lost, then this is serious. Bad things are happening.
Like, well, what do you want me to do about it? If it got whatever got them, it's going to get us too. Anyways, interesting. So next, and surprisingly for how little she has to do in the movie, third build is Elpidia Carrillo as Anna.
Yeah, it's kind of a small role, and it's strange she's billed third, right?
Yeah.
She must have a big following somewhere at the time, or they just wanted to have a woman on the bill.
I think you just have to have a woman in there, and she is our subject matter expert on some level. She's the one that kind of has some lore to give us about the Predator, because her village or whatever has traditions about this demon that hunts men for trophies. Or
not the first time.
Yeah, the Predators have been coming to Earth for a long time.
Are they just like Mexico?
Yeah. Or
Well, we later learn that they go, they go other places.
They go to other places too. They just like hot places though.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot to do.
She's a small role.
Yeah.
So she does it just fine.
Yeah.
Good acting.
Who do you got next?
Bill Duke as Mac.
Me too.
And Mac he's kind of he's like the calm before the storm character. He's really, and then he becomes the storm once his friend dies.
Yeah. He gets a little unhinged.
Yeah, Mac is he's like a really intense dude who just becomes totally unhinged and kind of just wants revenge at a certain point. He knows he's gonna die anyway, and he's fine with it.
Yeah, he wants to get revenge for his buddy, and he is such a quiet, for the most part, very quiet performance. We mentioned the sort of the interactions that he has with Dylan. But there's also like, God, what's the one I'm trying to think of with him? Oh, just Dutch just doesn't know what to say to him right after Blaine dies, and he just says he was a good soldier, and he kind of takes a beat and he says he was my friend. And the camera just kind of just sits there with these two tough guys because there's nothing else for them to say. And it just sort of lets you sit there with the tension. These guys are really hurting, but no one is talking about it. They're just feeling
it. There's nothing to be done. They're in a combat scenario. Their good buddy dies. They can process it later.
Yeah. And he gets that moment where he sits there with the body and like puts his flask into the guy's poncho that the guy wrapped up in, and he's on it. I think one of the strongest performances. In the movie.
Absolutely. It's a human performance. Like some of the rest of it is a little cartoony.
Yeah,
like
he grounds it.
Yeah, Carl Weathers is kind of a cartoonish performance. I mean, it's good, but it's over the top. And but Mac, he's grounded.
Yeah, for sure.
You fully identify. And then back to the cartoon level, we got Jesse Ventura as Blaine.
Yeah. Who does, of the two guys, he is the loudmouth guy, right?
Yeah.
And he carries around this insane minigun that normally would be mounted on the side of a helicopter. But it is so evocative, and it has like captured pop culture imagination. This gun. It's like, anytime you can get this gun in a video game, you want to
just mow everything down.
You want to get it. They use the exact same gun in Terminator 2. Like, the gun almost is a character. Old Painless.
Yeah, I think that is this performance by Jesse Ventura is really awesome. I mean, it's just like, I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, he does. Unfortunately, he drops a homophobic slur early in the movie.
Yeah.
But the rest of the performance redeems that on some level, I think.
Yeah, it was the early 80s. It was a different time.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think that the performance was really good.
Yeah.
And we know Jesse Ventura's politics. He's
a libertarian.
Yeah,
he's not a hater of
he's for free, do whatever you want.
When he was a wrestler, I mean, there's no way to describe his costume other than queer.
Yeah, it's very homoerotic.
He wore a feather boa and
absolutely.
He was a very flamboyant wrestler. Yeah. He's an ally. I think Jesse Ventura is an ally.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like Jesse Ventura as a dude, and I thought this performance was great. I also liked how he was the guy who was the real operator, but in the movie, he's the most over the top. He has the least practical gun.
Yeah.
He's really ridiculous.
Right.
So, he just kind of is taking it. He's not trying to, cosplay his Vietnam self.
Yeah.
He's being a crazy mercenary. It's like a wrestling character.
Exactly.
And I love it.
And that's yeah. And then, it is funny, these two movies, because this is, in a way, it's in conversation with The Running Man. Because they come out the same year. They both have Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
And Jesse Ventura is an over-the-top guy in both of them, too.
Yeah.
Because his Captain Freedom is also an over-the-top character.
Yeah. Well, and that's sort of his public persona he's always done that kind of really big-time persona.
It's hard to get out of it as a wrestler, I think. But he, one of the behind the scenes interviews I saw where he was talking about how he got out of wrestling at such a time that he felt like he still had range that he could explore, whereas Hulk Hogan can only be Hulk Hogan. Because,
he stayed long.
Yeah, he stayed too long and could never do anything else. And that ended up being true. Jesse Ventura has had other shades to his career.
Absolutely.
Hulk Hogan just stayed Hulk Hogan.
He was the governor of Minnesota.
Yeah. That's a lot of range.
Yeah.
Jesse the Body Ventura to governor of Minnesota.
Yeah, we had two former governors in this movie.
Yeah, or future governors. Governors, yeah. Who do you got next? I got Sonny Landham as Billy.
Yeah, Sonny Landham is really good in this movie. When I was a kid watching this movie, the umpteenth thousandth time, Billy was my favorite character.
I've always loved Billy, too.
I like it because he's quiet and he's all business.
And something I love just about the dynamic of this group is they have such a level of trust with each other and understanding in each other that when Billy just sort of is standing off somewhere staring into the middle distance, everyone just freezes and they're like, Billy sees something. And they just have total confidence in his abilities.
Yeah. He's the guy who notices.
Yeah.
And it's that's his thing.
He's hyper aware of everything. Sonny Landham, the guy seems like he's an absolute crazy person.
Yeah, the movie studio had to hire a security guy whose job was to make sure that Sonny didn't fight anyone on set.
Yeah. And in town and stuff, because when they're not filming, they're staying in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah,
and
he's just a guy that's just there to make sure. Sonny, and I guess the security guy is 6'8" and just a huge.
Basically, keep him from getting
just
in
a
trouble.
monster that can drag him out of a fight.
But that's something about his real life mania informs this character. With this. It's weird because the character is not maniacal at all.
No, he's really calm.
Very level and grounded and in it.
He has the worst haircut of the bunch.
Yeah, it's sort of a bob. It's
but that's fine.
Yeah.
You got to have a little character.
There's the awkward time when you're growing your hair out. He had army regulation hair and now he's growing it out.
Now he's got a bob.
And now he's got that mid-length. It just takes some time.
He should have just put it under a patrol cap.
Yeah.
Pulled it back.
Unfortunately, he never was going to finish this grow out because he kind of sees the writing on the wall and has his final man-to-man with the Predator on the log across the ravine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that he decides to go out like a fighter.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit of a bummer that this was originally envisioned as the main character of the story.
Yeah.
So it's obviously greatly reduced. But I do think, like, with what they've done in Prey and stuff, they're definitely trying to get back towards that idea of the sort of the Native American lore part of this franchise.
Yeah, they had to do rewrites because they have just this Austrian Mr. Olympia that wants to play.
Yeah.
You know.
He's always, whatever Schwarzenegger in, he's the star of it.
Yeah. You can't have him be Billy.
Yeah.
Not in
1987. Not when he's at this stage of his career. And the last few guys, Richard Chavez is Pancho.
Yeah, he's fine. He's the demolitions guy. He dies early. Fairly
early. His Spanish is bad.
Yes.
I don't even speak Spanish, but like when he's speaking Spanish with that girl, I was like, I can understand what he's saying, and I feel like I could do better than he's doing.
Yeah. I haven't taken Spanish since middle school.
Yeah.
And I would do better than that.
Yeah. I was like, not looking good. You're not representing really well for the Latinos, Pancho.
His name's Chavez.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Shane Black is Hawkins, the writer on staff.
The staff writer, communications guy, dirty joke man. He just
those dirty jokes were so bad.
Yeah, two variations on the big pussy joke.
Yeah, I guess his mom had to leave. She decided to leave the movie not because of the dirty jokes, but because she didn't want to watch her son get massacred, because she'd seen you'd already seen the hanging, skinless bodies.
Yeah.
She didn't want to see that happen to her son.
Yeah, and he gets gutted out, right? Like,
yeah,
you see
absolutely.
Just his torso hanging up in the tree.
Good job, Mom.
Yeah.
Protect yourself.
Yeah, and he said he got to take that home after production. He got to take
the torso,
the dummy of himself home.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'd have that in a closet.
As souvenirs go, that's pretty good. Yeah, you want that in the closet in your guest room. So
yeah, someone opens it.
Yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre in here.
Then we got Kevin Peter Hall, right?
Yeah, I got R.G. Armstrong as General Phillips, but yeah, Kevin Peter Hall, that's the real final person to talk to.
Yeah, he played notably the helicopter pilot.
Yeah, so he so he
could get his face on camera.
Yeah, because he really gives a hell of an iconic performance as the Predator.
Some people do monsters really well.
Yeah, and he unfortunately he died fairly young, died of HIV, but he's got two just iconic roles in this and Harry and the Hendersons the same year.
I think Predator guts Harry if they ever fight.
I hope the Predator can find him. The Sasquatch is so good at hiding in the woods.
Hide and seek champion.
Yeah, but the Predator wouldn't hunt the Sasquatch because they're unarmed.
That's true.
Right?
They're not really. They are not predator species.
Yeah, it's just like a big orangutan.
They're scavengers.
Grazer.
Yeah.
So the Predator would never hunt Harry, so he's safe because he's just a kind creature. Kevin Peter Hall, just totally iconic.
It's so physical, it's so imposing, and just like they show some like in the behind the scenes stuff, they show some not B-roll, but behind the scenes where he's practicing how the Predator moves, some just like some movements, some fighting, shifting his weight and walking and creeping and stalking.
Yeah.
And it's very, very specific. It's great.
Yeah, because he's got I think a martial arts background and a dance background, and it's all kind of playing in. And like, I don't know why the thing where he's sort of hopping from branch to branch after his camouflage has already been kind of taken out, and he's in the final stalking moments of the movie before their confrontation. Just the way he moves, I've always found it just really compelling.
Yeah. It's intimidating.
It is intimidating. It's not entirely human, but it's not so inhuman that you don't recognize it. It's not like predators are closer to human than like the xenomorphs in Alien, right? Which are entirely inhuman in how they move and operate. This seems like relatable somehow. It's a more relatable performance.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the scary things about the predator species in general is that they're
Yautja.
They're human-like.
Yeah, you understand them, and there's something about because people do game hunting, right? Where they hunt for trophies. And there's something about being reduced to the prey animal that is very upsetting when you consider yourself like the top of the food chain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When Dutch gets him.
Yep. Finally, gets him with the big log. The log wins out over everything.
Damn.
So we're kind of getting into our wrap up. What's your personal highlight?
You mentioned it earlier when we were talking about performances, but I think that Billy Duke's performance as Mac in this movie is head and shoulders above like all the other actors in terms of raw acting ability. He conveys so much emotion. It's internal turmoil and drama.
Yeah.
There's raw emotion that's sort of like restrained and then let out. And I just feel like Billy Duke really just absolutely kills it. And that's sort of brought to a head when after the Predator kills Blaine and he picks up Blaine's minigun and he's just shooting in the forest. It's just a storm of bullets, and his friends, his guys come and they join in and they just go until it keeps spinning.
Yeah.
And then he finally lets his finger off the trigger.
I love how no one questions anything. They all just start firing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Mac's shooting here and he's just going for it. All right, we go for it.
Yeah.
It's like we do this together.
You can do anything in Mexico. That's what when I watch this, I think like you could never just go into Gifford Pinchot Forest.
Oh no.
And just let off rounds like this.
Just
like,
destroy trees.
Yeah.
Just
like,
clear cut it with bullets.
Yeah. In Mexico though, you can just go out in the jungle and do whatever.
Yeah. Fuck them animals.
Yeah. Right? Like how many little chameleons and like,
snakes and whatever.
We've seen there's a few possums that we see specifically in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Think of the poor marsupials.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's my personal highlight was Billy Duke's performance, and specifically that scene, the storm of bullets.
Nice.
So what about you?
Similar, but I'm not going to pick a particular scene or sequence. To me, the highlight, because I was just like, I couldn't narrow it down to one, but to me, it is the cast, the ensemble cast, and their relationships with each other. And then I called out specifically Jesse Ventura and Bill Duke's characters, Blaine and what is it? Mac. Blaine and Mac. Yeah. But really, all of them, Arnold and Billy D's characters, or not Billy D, Carl Weathers' characters, also. Just like there's just all of these relationships, and so much of it is just acted and not talked about.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really, not to cut you off, but that really kind of, I don't know, it shines for this movie is that it seems like it's a bro fest with a bunch of wrestlers and bodybuilders.
Right.
But the acting that happens, it's so good.
Yeah. Because all of these guys are great actors, and some of them just seldom have been given that opportunity
and
to
just
do it.
Being muscle bound does not mean you cannot act.
Right.
You can have both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so they just, this ensemble cast and all of the little relationships, how they all relate to each other, how they all have this... they've got this total understanding and trust with each other, and then the foreign element of Dylan is injected.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, the major knows him from they were in the same unit together, but none of us know him and none of us trust him, and so it's like he messes up like their delicate balance, and then sort of like makes his way into the group, out of the group, and then back into the group by the end of it. And just it's just very layered and really well performed on everyone. What worked for you?
So I love the genre blending.
Yeah.
I love how it starts as a war movie and straightforward, hyper-masculine military action film.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a jungle survival thriller, sci-fi slasher, and then it turns out that not only are these guys who you thought of as invincible heroes at the beginning, they're the helpless prey.
Yeah.
And then it turns everything on its head, and they use intellect to win.
Right.
It's like this movie is... It's all about subverting expectations.
Yeah.
Even though it is what it said. It gives the promise of the premise and it fulfills it, and then a lot more.
Yeah.
So it doesn't disappoint you by going hard left. It just does what you think it's going to do, like badass dudes being badass dudes, but then also so much more.
Yeah.
So
it's like 3 movies.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then next, I have to say the Predator creature design specifically, like, oh my God, it's the coolest monster. Like, in my pantheon of monsters, it's definitely, like, in the top 3. Like, I love this monster. It's one of the best of all times. It's totally iconic. I love the technology. I love the creature design. I love the portrayal of the monster.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And I guess lastly, I just wanted to kind of call out that this movie is a lot smarter than people think.
Yeah.
It seems like a real like ding dong bro flick, but it's actually really smart. Yeah. It's extremely clever. And watching this director's other movies, you can see, oh yeah, this guy is cunning. He crafts and weaves subversive things through all of his films. Mm-hmm. He's a really smart guy. And I think that I've seen this movie so many times that I just thought everyone thought of this movie that way. But no, when you go online, there are people that just, they miss it.
Shit can on
this. They're just like, oh, you don't get it. That's why you don't like it, because you don't understand this movie. Yeah. It's way deeper than you think it is.
Yeah, because it's just a creature feature. It's like, but it's
like, also, it's that and...
It's one of the very best versions of that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about you? What were for you?
I think we got the exact same things. So I just have it in a different order. The Predator, one of the most iconic monsters ever, period.
Yeah.
The mixture of genres, jungle adventure, war, slasher, alien invader, and it doesn't stay in one. It dances between all of them.
It weaves them together.
Yeah, it's a war movie until they finish their operation, and there's no hostage to rescue. Then it's a slasher movie, and then it's a man versus monster movie in the third act. Yeah. And it's just, it just does that so well. And then piggybacking off of that, the pacing and tension, it is like an edge of your seat thriller too. Like you're just, there's a sense of dread and anticipation in this movie that you just sort of always have. And it just builds and builds through the end to the point when you finally get that fight, you're dying for them to fight it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're just like, you just need this. Even if Arnold's going to die somehow, which it looks like he will, you just need this to come to a conclusion because of the way it's been paced out.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I got. What didn't work for you?
So I was kind of I was like nitpicking, but I think it's a thing whenever you have a big ensemble cast and you've got all these really characterful people, some of those characters are going to be one note and they're going to be simplistic and they're going to be underdeveloped. And that's very true, like with Pancho and Hawkins and
Anna.
And Anna. Like we get a lot with Dutch and Dylan. We get a lot with Mac and Blaine. And we even get a fair amount with Billy. But the other people, they're just sort of also there.
Yeah. I think it's because they're small. They're both smaller in body, but they're just like, they're not over the top characters, those three. And so they just are drowned out by the other ones.
Yeah. And then I think that the first part of the movie, the first act is they're trying to lay a lot of groundwork. Like it's like the prologue of, it's like this movie has like 2 prologues. Like we have the alien ship thing, then we have the meeting between like tricking Dutch and Dylan tricking Dutch, blah blah blah, and then we're going out, and then we get into the war movie part of it. But basically everything all the way leading up to the war movie part, basically until they discover the Green Berets hanging from the trees, when it becomes, at this point though, and what the fuck is happening here?
They were skinned alive.
Yeah. Until then, it's kind of boring.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not... It's like... The movie's called Predator.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Bride of Frankenstein problem. Like, it's not
you don't see
very interesting until you get some Predator action.
Okay.
So, I think that was a... it's already a short movie too, so I'm not sure they need to trim that, but I think that there could have been something. The first part was boring, and then I think while the effects of the time, particularly like the heat vision and all of that stuff, were pretty innovative, there were some moments where the effects were they were treading in like well trod path, like, and they didn't do it very well. Like when Dylan's hand gets cut off and it keeps shooting, that fake arm looks real cheesy. Like some of the stuff just doesn't stand up.
Okay.
Some of the effects that they did not stand the test of time.
Okay.
So what about you? What didn't work for you?
I've got almost no criticisms for this movie.
You're like, that severed hand that continues to shoot.
Love it.
That was perfect.
I think that is. I think that's great. And the fact that, first of all, that he's double fisting the 2 guns is so ridiculous. That it keeps shooting after his arm gets shot off or cut off is ridiculous. Watching this in high definition, you can see like the wire pull, like both the wire that the laser beam moves along, and you can see how the arm is pulled off of his body. I don't care about any of that. That all works for me.
It's all perfect.
Yeah. I don't like that Jesse Ventura used the F slur. It doesn't pass the Bechdel test. There's not 2 female characters with names that have a conversation about something other than a man.
I mean, you're assuming the gender of the predator.
I think we've seen female predators.
Oh, that's true.
We know what they look like. Yeah. No, it's basically a perfect movie. I have very little criticism.
So what's your final rating then?
It's 5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah, I give it 5 stars too.
I know that that's kind of a bit strong based on the consensus, critical consensus. But there's nothing I would change about this movie, really.
Yeah, I think so. So I give it 5 stars as well, and I think that it's important to consider that when we're rating movies, it's not against every other movie. It's against its type of movie and what it's supposed to be. Like, this is supposed to be a sci-fi action movie. This is an 80s thing. Like, we're not putting this against you're not putting this up against like Shawshank Redemption or whatever.
No, I'm comparing it to Predator and Alien and Aliens, and it stands with them. Yeah,
and I put it against my favorite movie, which is another 80s sci-fi movie, Blade Runner, and I think it's in that conversation. Like, I think it is a excellent movie that I think if you're a fan of cinema, you should watch this, because if you watch this and then you're later watching other 5-star movies like John Wick, you're like, sure. Oh, I immediately understand what's happening. It's also an action movie using horror tropes.
Okay.
This is the movie making is very meta and excellent. So I think this is a 5-star movie.
Yeah. I agree. What's the consensus? What are people saying about this?
The world thinks it's a 4-star movie. So IMDb calls it 7.8. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 80%, and Letterboxd gives it 3.8. I think that's because people are not considering it in its full majesty.
I know. I listened to Spooky Tuesday podcast, did an episode on this, and and I was expecting, because some of the other movies that they've covered, that they've given like great reviews to, where all three girls gave it 5 stars. I was kind of thinking like, oh yeah, slam dunk, they're gonna love Predator. No, they did not. Only one of them really loved it, and one liked it, and one was like, not for me. It was sort of like 3, and 4.
I think that there's early in the movie when Dylan and Dutch grasp arms and they're flexing and flexing.
Yeah,
that could just put you right off.
Right, but no, they liked that part. They liked all that
interesting.
Part. Just weren't into the
skinned bodies and
just like the overall, the whole movie. They weren't feeling it, or
one of them wasn't.
One of them was not feeling it at all, and I was like, God. I listened to like their Friday the 13th episode, and I borderline hated that movie.
Yeah, that
and
movie
they loved it.
That movie was bad plus bad.
Yeah.
It was just,
and I was like,
ugh.
I thought you girls, I thought we were more on the same page than this.
This movie is way better than Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, just not even close. I can't even really entertain the idea that Friday the 13th is on a level with this.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, when we take a break, and we'll come back with the Vault of Darkness. Before we delve into the Vault of Darkness, we ask that all initiates of the cult follow us on your favorite social media platforms at Nightshade Cult.
If you've enjoyed this content, help us grow the cult by sharing it with like-minded people and leave us a review wherever you listen.
Did you have any dark tidings? Or
no,
what are you
nothing
pulling?
new.
All right, what are you pulling out of the vault?
All right. I am pulling something. I think I've talked to you about it, but I haven't brought it up on the pod. So I had to I had to search my notes. This is called Lord of Mysteries.
Okay.
This is it originated as a Chinese web novel written by Yuan Yi, whose pen name is Cuttlefish That Loves Diving.
Okay.
And it was serialized, essentially web published between 2018 and 2020. And this is a story that is another genre blend, which is the tangential connection of the genre blender. But this is steampunk, Lovecraftian horror, Chinese fantasy / mythology, all mixed up in a Victorian-inspired world. It is gonzo next level. You know how China does everything next level, right?
Right.
That's what this is. So,
and it's an anime also?
So it started as a web novel, and then it was made into a Chinese animation, which I learned by reading online that it's not called simply an anime. It's called Donghua.
Okay.
So yeah, Chinese anime, the first season is out, and it's already renewed for another season. But there's also the first web novel is covered by one season. So one season of the show covers only like chapter 1 through 213 of the first web novel. Okay. And there's like 1,000 chapters of the first one. And now there's a second one that follows a different protagonist. Carrie has read the whole first one, and it's equivalent of like 8 full-length novels. That's the first book. And then the second book is, again, about the same length. And they're making more because not only is this like mega popular in China, but it's also big popular everywhere else now that it's translated, and it's on Crunchyroll. And the quality of the animation, it's so like when you're watching anime, like we watched Vampire Hunter D and did talked about that, and I love that old school. This is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah,
this is hyper modern, new school. Sometimes when they're doing like weird magical effects, because it's got that Lovecraftian horror, Chinese fantasy magic element going on. It goes hyper, really high frame rate.
Oh, really?
With crazy computerized, digitized things. And then when the weirdness kind of subsides, it kind of goes back to the regular, kind of like Coogler does, where he messes with you with the frame rates and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I am not. So I'm normally not that big on properties that are, like, I would say, this maybe it's hard to be blanket statement, but at first I thought this was too much. It was too
over the top for you.
But the more I watched it, the more I was interested in it, and I'm actually thinking about reading the book.
There's a lot of books.
There's a lot.
I'm pulling this up while you're talking
it's absolutely insane. Lord of Mysteries is, you can dip your toe in it and just watch some Crunchyroll, or you can just go whole hog on it. It has such a deep mythology in this show that it barely touches on in the first season compared to the, depth of writing that's been done on it. And I love that it has been made. It started from a novel, because novels is where and this is like uber long form web published novel, where you can just be gratuitously extra. Nothing
just
hits
keep
the
publishing because you're going by chapters originally.
Nothing hits the cutting room floor. So you get all of the extra side content, the deep lore. Unlike if it was done from a manhwa or a manga, it would be. Those are always way simpler, way more straightforward, because it's an artistic. Like a visual element.
And the adaptation is generally simplifying it
so
even further.
Started simple, it gets simpler. This simplifies, but it's simplifying a much broader format. It's really cool. So
interesting.
I think there's probably at least a couple cultists out there that if you like anime, you just should check out Lord of Mysteries.
Right on.
So how about you? What are you pulling from the vault?
I'm pulling out a movie, and I'll just give the disclaimer. I haven't watched this movie for a long time, but it is certainly for fans of Predator. And it's the movie Dog Soldiers, directed by Neil Marshall from 2002.
That's a good one.
British action horror movie. And it's very much like a UK version of Predator, but with werewolves instead of the Predator.
Yeah.
You have a group of British soldiers on a training mission in Scotland, and they find themselves being hunted by a pack of werewolves. And it's one of those. It's one that always comes up when you're talking about like best werewolf movies. Dog Soldiers is one that always comes up. It's got a great ensemble cast similar to Predator. You've got Sean Pertwee, who you might know from Event Horizon, and he played Alfred on this show Gotham. Kevin McKidd from Train Spotting, Liam Cunningham, Davos Seaworth from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like they're sort of like a special operations military unit, and they're getting hunted. And
so you're selling me on this movie. We should do an episode on it.
We should do an episode on this. We've got some spots next year. We could probably slot this in somewhere.
And I've been saying we need to add more werewolf content. We're a little light on werewolves.
We always need more werewolf content. That's true. You don't have to twist my arm on that. I agree with you. But yeah, so I think if you're a fan of Predator, Dog Soldiers is going to be right up your alley too.
Nice. At first, when you said Dog Soldiers, in my mind, I summoned Ghost Dog, which is also a dope-ass movie.
Yeah, I love Jim Jarmusch with, what's Forrest Whitaker as Ghost Dog. Yeah, Riz is in that. That's a great movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank you for joining the Nightshade Cult.
Until we meet again, we're wishing you unpleasant dreams.